What's popping, everyone? 𝑅𝐴𝐻𝑒𝐿 coming back at you with a brand new video. Today it's going to be a highly requested video, a strategy that I'm using to scale Shopify stores easily to 5K a day. Of course, it requires a winning product. I do have some other videos about how to test products. This video is going to focus about how you can actually break through that 1K, 2K, 3K a day and get all the way to 5K, maybe even 10K with this method super easily. So I'm going to jump into my computer. I've written it all down. You can download your PowerPoint in the descriptions down below too. But I'm going to jump into my computer and sort of like explain it all. So please stay throughout the video so you can get a lot of knowledge about how you can scale your Shopify store. Let's jump straight into it. So inside of my computer right here, I've written it all down inside of a PowerPoint, and we'll link the PowerPoint so you can download it down below if you want to. But yeah, it's sort of like the rocket rate scaling strategy, how you can get to $5,000 a day. I will try to speak a bit slower. I've known for some of the other videos that a lot of you guys say that I talk too fast, so I will try to slow it a bit down this time. So the rocket rate scaling strategy is one of my main ways to go from the testing phase, or sort of like slightly scaling, and transition into a rapid scaling of a product that I can see works well. This could be, you know, a normal problem solving product, a normal dropshipping product. You can use this for, you know, branded e-commerce as well, private label products too. It's one of my favorite ways to do it, and it's sort of like a way to test different scaling strategies at once, and then you can go with either of them or use multiple at the same time. I always use multiple scaling strategies at the same time and sort of like finesse each one of them each day or each 48 hours or something like that. So first of all, what does it take to use the rocket rate scaling strategy? First of all, you need a winning product, and a winning product is, you know, a product which has a ROAS above 3 to 4, or basically a product which makes you, sorry, all of those DMs on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram yet, be sure to do right here. This is my tag, Marcus Evers, you know, right away. I would really appreciate it if you wanted to. But anyway, so the winning products is sort of like a product where you are highly profitable on it. So that could be either your ROAS is above 3 to 4. Normally, no matter what, I go for a ROAS above 3 before going ahead and scaling. But of course, that is all depending on your sort of like product pricing, right? But yes, I like to scale ad sets, or products in general, which are above 3 in ROAS, right? Or at least ad sets I can work with above 3 to 4. So what you need is a good ad creative and a good ad copy that goes with the winning product. You need a great landing page and a great product page plus checkout, because that will increase your conversions. And your ROAS often slightly decreases or falls when you scale your product. So starting off with a product which has a high ROAS is really important, because that makes you able to scale it a lot more. And one of the major ways that I like to increase the ROAS, or one of the ways that it's important to do when you are actually scaling your product, that is to use different techniques to increase your ROAS, which will then make you able to scale even faster and better. So one of them is use volume discounts. This means that your average order value increases, because maybe they will buy 2 or 3 of that product, or they will buy something in combined, or they will combine it with something else from your store, because they get a volume discount out of it. Another thing is upsells. Upsells is great. Just make sure that you don't make it scammy on your store, because that will decrease the conversion rate. So you need to find the sweet spot of that. Another thing is backend email funnels. So I use Klaviyo for that. You can make flows for your winning products, which will then increase your overall ROAS for that specific product and for your whole store. So I do like to do that, because that will increase that, give you that extra % of extra revenue, which will make it easier for ROAS. I recommend to use retargeting and SMS abandoned cart sequences as well. You can use post-purchase upsells, right? So that was some of the what does it take and some of the strategies that I would recommend for you guys to implement before scaling. So moving on, so the 5K rocket rate strategy. First of all, we're starting with horizontal scaling technique. So basically, within your winning product, your winning campaign, you take your well-performing ad sets, your well-performers of ad sets, or those that you are highly profitable on. That could be above 3 ROAS, that could be above 4. But the importance is that you're making a lot of money on those ad sets. So you take those ad sets, you can define how many times you want to duplicate it yourself depending on your budget, but this is one of the major ways that I do it in general. So I recommend to duplicate it 3 times at the same budget, and 2 times at the double of the original budget. And you always want to schedule your new ad sets and your new ads and campaigns at midnight. That's really important. So midnight, 12 a.m. the next day. And then you want to run those for 48 hours. The horizontal scaling ad sets, you want to run those for 48 hours, and then you want to kill the negative performers or the bad performers, which means those that you're not profitable on. Vertical scaling is sort of like you're gonna split test as many lookalike audiences as possible. Depending on your budget, you can do all of them, but that will probably be 200 ad sets, right? So you might not be able to use, you know, $2,000 a day or something like that. But basically what you want to do is you want to split test as many lookalike audiences as you can. And as you can see, I've written right here, you can do it 1%, 2%, 3%, blah, 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 all the way to 10%. Then you can take 1 to 2%. When you're making your lookalike audience, there is a little blue button called advanced options. You press that one, and then you can take from one specific percentage to another. You will have a slider. Instead of you only have, for example, 5%, you can choose from 4 till 5%. So it's in between those percentages. It will take that group of people. So that I like to split test with as well. So that is basically just 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, blah, blah, blah. Then I like to use the ones which are 5 to 10, 3 to 5, 2 to 8, and 3 to 7. Those are just some of the sort of like more broader in between lookalike audiences groups that I like to use. And then you want to do it for view content, add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchases. And if you're running a video ad, you can do it for 25% video views, 50% video views, 75% video views, and 95% video views. So you can do that too. This is just if you are not running a video ad. You want to run those for 48 to 72 hours, and then you want to kill the negative performers. So the ones which are not giving you a profitable ROAS, you want to let them at least run for 48 hours, these ones. And then you use the horizontal scaling method on the well performers after those 48 hours. So you need to let them at least run for 48 hours. The best is 72 when you use when you're doing your vertical scaling. And what I would use for those well performers is, of course, those which is above 3 to 4 ROAS, right? And have multiple purchases. If you have one purchase, you know, it's okay, but those who have multiple purchases has a higher likelihood of being a more of a winning ad set or a well performer. So you duplicate, then you use this technique. You can also just do it on 3 times or 2 times, but of course this is 5 times, right? 3 times the same budget and 2 times the double of the original budget. And you use that on the lookalike audiences, and then you can see you get many ad sets which are performing really well, and then you just kill those which are not working, and then test with higher budgets. So when an audience / an ad set is performing well too on the horizontal dupes, like the horizontal duplicates, so when you've used your horizontal scaling, or when you have used the horizontal scaling on your lookalike audience, so you maybe have 5 ad sets of 1% purchase lookalike audience, if they're performing well, you can start to increase the budget on them. And that you want to do that only each 48 hours, no more often than that, until the ROAS decreases or falls too much. So you want to find that sweet spot. Then we have the continued Rocket strategy, which is using CBOs, which is campaign-based budget optimization, CBOs. And you want to do that at automatic bidding. So what you do is you take inside of your campaign, that could either be lookalike audiences or it could be horizontal scaling audiences or something like that. But you want to take 3 to 7 of your top performing ad sets, your very top performing ad sets, based on either ROAS or purchases. I like to do it with ROAS. They just need to have more than 2 or 3 purchases. So they need to have multiple purchases and be your top performing ROAS ad sets. You take 3 to 7 of those, you mark them, and you duplicate them into a new campaign where you are turning on CPO, campaign-based budget optimization, and you just want to leave it at automatic bidding. The budget of the campaign should be 5 to 10x your average CPP, cost per purchase. That could, for example, be if you have a cost per purchase of $20, you set your campaign between $100 and $200. Otherwise, if you're just starting out and you do not have that much budget, you can put it at between 50 and 150 depending on your budget. You want to run it for at least 48 hours. I like to do 72 on the CPOs. And then you want to kill 1 to 2 of the worst performing ad sets. So the campaign will focus only on the very, very best inside of your campaign. And that you're helping the campaign and the algorithm by doing that with pulsing or killing 1 to 2 of the worst performing ad sets inside of the CPO. And then after 72 hours or more than that, maybe you've run it for a whole week, you want to increase the budget on the campaign if you see a positive ROAS, and I like to increase it between 50 and 100% at a time, and then wait another 48 to 72 hours. Then you can take a look at the ad sets, you can take a look at the performance of the campaign, and then you can increase the budget even more, or you can duplicate the campaign as well. So that was the 5K Rocket Way scaling strategy. I really hope you guys got something useful out of it. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like. Comment down below if you have any questions. If there is something that you didn't understand, please go ahead and leave a comment down below. Or if you thought it was awesome, please go ahead and leave a comment. I would really much appreciate it. And give it a like. Please go ahead and subscribe. There's a lot of knowledge on my channel. Go ahead and check it out. I will link a playlist down below with Facebook ads tips and scaling strategies. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And I would recommend for you guys to go ahead and check out the ecom Academy. The link is in the descriptions down below, where you can learn a lot more about this and how you can scale your Shopify stores even beyond 5K a day. But as always, I hope you all have a successful and wonderful day. Bye.